Oh no. That's not right. I at one point had a picture loaded for you, but I guess I like deleted it.
I can send you another one if you want.
I think let me check. Did you put it in the G drive? Is that where we put it last time?
I believe so, yeah.
If
Yes.
that's the case, then I have it. Yeah, alright, cool. I got it. Oop. Add text. Alright, cool. Under your picture I have in shit interwebs. Because it's the truth. Alright, cool. Now I have to go to videos. I really like, we need to hit a certain level, that way we can just like not worry about like the whole, I can give like a real URL directly to our live stream.
Yeah, you're right. Where is that picture?
Well,
there
the tiny URL works. I don't know what other people have problems with it.
I think is they when they get there, they didn't realize they had to hit like videos and then
What? You need
like
me?
live stream.
What's going on? Hold on. Be right back, Devan.
Yeah.
Where are your tweezers? Your son has a tick on him.
Oh, you want me to do it?
No?
Still
Well,
fine.
where are they?
It's in the, so there's a drawer here
In the bathroom?
in the bathroom, yeah.
Okay.
It should be like
This
right
is
there.
the sink?
This is the sink? It should
Yes.
be the first or second drawer. It
Okay.
should be in there. Okay. Hey, he had an emergency.
I said, that is an emergency. Let's go. Excellent explanation.
So like, alright, Devan, I'm back. So like,
Yeah.
Lisa is covering like the parent thing for me, like, which is really, really awesome. Like, honestly. Oh, I'm on live stream.
Well, let's show you that. Great.
No. I was saying it's so awesome, but like she like explained to the kids like, hey, like Dad's doing a podcast. Like, if you have an emergency, like here's what qualifies as an emergency. Well, Corin just told her, I've got a tick on me, and she's like, you know what? That's an emergency. Good call. Let's go.
That's a mercy.
that qualifies. Mission accomplished.
Oh gosh. That's so cute. I hear it in the background.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, what can you do about that?
That's a problem. That's not a problem, man.
Let me go deal with that. I'll give you something to cry about.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is spanking your child, which we both agree with, so we won't be debating it.
You know what? Actually, I don't agree with spanking my children.
Well, then make it a topic next time.
Yeah, that would be an interesting topic.
Like
to
3
discuss.
weeks.
Yeah.
I think we've got 2 weeks out, man, which is good. I think. No, I think.
Well, I know I filled in the 21st.
Oh, then yeah, we're good.
So did you do this 22nd? I haven't looked since then. Yeah, you did.
I think I
Okay,
did.
Yeah, check that out.
I don't know if I have a
Content's still on
topic for it. I
Sofa.
may have just thrown in or I think I did, actually. I moved it to the 22nd.
Yeah, social media gift or curse. Yeah.
Gotta milk it.
Oh, that top 5's gonna be solid. Top 5 superhero team.
Yeah, it's not like your favorite. It's like if you can pull, it's a dream team. Let's just say that
Okay.
dream team of superheroes.
Oh, like the strongest?
Just like yours. Like who would
Okay.
you pull? Like if you had to pick 5, who would you pick?
Green Arrow's my boy, man. Oh, that's gonna be good. Top 5. Solid.
I would just clone Superman.
Yeah, then I would just clone Batman because he wins.
What people don't understand is that Superman just flies a good distance away and shoots him with laser eyes.
Yeah,
Dead.
but Superman
freezes
doesn't
him.
kill. Superman won't kill.
I think he'd make an exception if it said it's you or him. What? Okay.
In the
And then
comics, he never kills people. So
have you seen there's a YouTube video where they have like even though like Batman says he won't kill either, but then they have from all their movies their kill counts from all their movies.
well, you can't
It's
count the
super
most recent one. The most recent Batman vs Superman. What, baby? Hey.
Mommy, paint my nails.
Oh, good job. Now go to bed. I love you. Sweet dreams. Shut the door.
It's so cold. If you're a superhero, you'd be Mr. Freeze.
Look, you have to do that with children, you a-hole, because otherwise, like, she'll sit there and tell me like a 10-minute story, all just because she doesn't want to be in bed.
Just to say I love you.
Yeah, well, no.
And what I'm trying to say is, I love you.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't want to be in bed. Like, come out, like, I need to use the restroom. No, you don't. Okay. I'm thirsty. No, you're not. That's fair.
If you were thirsty, you would have said that first.
Yeah.
Logic. Go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. That's super solid. Oh man, I gotta do those Patreon videos. I was supposed to do them today, man, but that day got away from me. I spent like the majority of the day like outside with the kids, and then I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I'm gonna get those videos too.
You almost done with that thing?
I've got. Man, I hadn't read it in a bit, but man, I put a dent in it today.
I expect a book review.
Yeah, I've got 50
Just some of
pages.
the major points.
I got 50 pages, so I'll be done with it in like a couple hours. Like that. The problem with that book is I can't like blaze through it because it's like a teaching book. It's not like a fiction book where you just like burn through it and like you're just building an image. Like I'm having to like think of these fucking concepts.
Reflect on it. Yeah. How does it apply to your life?
Yeah. Terribly, which sucks. It like shows me some like points in my own financial shit where I'm like, oh, he makes a solid point. Alright, cool. You got the Instagram thing going. Good. I got her post up. I don't like the new Instagram icon.
Have I even noticed it? I don't know if I've downloaded it yet. I think it asked me about it.
You have to, I would think. Like, it's that giant. If you've noticed it, if you haven't noticed it, we have a problem. Like, it's completely different. Do you still have the brown icon?
Yeah, I saw the old one. I've seen the new one.
You don't ever update your software, clearly.
No, well, no, I just got the... I have viruses.
I disagree.
I don't. Not that I've seen yet.
Right? You don't
my whole phone's a virus. Somebody's like constantly in it, not me.
That could totally be real. That could be a thing. Alright, so how do I see, what are we at? 10, 24, 7. Okay, cool.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Yeah, alright, cool. I gotta find the other buttons. Oh, I don't need your face in front of me since there is no face of yours. So I can pull the show notes over here, which is solid. This can go over here. Oh, I've got so much more screen real estate when I don't need to stare at your face.
But you need to.
Yeah, but you don't have good internet, so I can't stare at your face, and that's depressing. But you know, it's something I'll have to get through it, man.
I think we can make it one episode. Will it be next Sunday?
It'll be the second. I don't know.
Next Sunday. Next Sunday's 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend or something, I think.
Yeah.
I'll be home. I'll be home for Memorial Day.
What is this?
Wait, it's not Memorial Day's Monday, but I'll be home.
Oh, so I forgot I have this. Like seeing the like phonetic for that, I was like, what does this button do? Oh yeah, I remember what that button does.
Yeah. We just played that the entire podcast.
Well, this time we won't.
Well, this time we won't.
Don't worry, we also have the famous this. No. Why didn't it do it? No. Okay, let's try this again. It never gets old. It's just one piece of wood.
We're going to explain that like, alright, Drogo kicks a door down. No, he's supposed to just do one board.
Yeah, that was funny. Kicks the door down.
I'm gonna kick the door down. One board. Like, why didn't we just walk through the gap that was there? It's a tent. It's a Velcro. It's a tent. And kick the tent door in.
You're a wizard.
Yes.
I have a lot of good stuff. I used to have more.
Everyone, please bow your heads and pretend to be serious.
Oh, that's how I'm going to lead out the podcast. I'm going to hit that button, then I'm going to hit the intro. Oh, I'm going to start doing that every time somebody prays around me. Okay. Alright, I'm about to do the intro. You ready?
All right, do it.
Hold on, let me turn off before. I'm gonna hit turn off the pre-text show so I don't forget.
Yeah.
Everyone, please, bow your heads and pretend to be serious.
Hi, I'm Devan and I'm the pastor.
Hi, I'm DeWayne and I'm the atheist, and you're listening to the Pastor and Atheist Show.
That was kind of quiet this time. I don't know if that's
It was
just my
kinda quiet
audio
this time.
settings. I know I've been tinkering with it because sometimes it's like blazingly loud, and sometimes it's like ridiculously loud. So now this is the first time we've had it super quiet. So if you didn't hear it, like go to listen to one of the other episodes, and you'll find like you'll get like the full experience where you like bust open your eardrums. So
We're trying to draw you in. I hope it worked.
yeah, it's solid. Welcome to episode 20 of the Pastor and Atheist.
It's a milestone.
It's a milestone. That's right. It's 20 weeks of this. That's 5
20
months. I mean,
It's
technically it's
almost
more than
half
5
a
months,
year.
but yeah, it's getting there.
I like saying
dude,
that. Almost half a year.
Dude, it feels like January when we just started this and like had no clue what we were doing. Not that we have a better clue now. We just it's better.
Question mark?
Is it?
Is it?
I like to think so.
I do too.
This week we're talking about our weeks, our quotes, top 5 reasons, and religion and politics is going to be the main topic.
We'll take a little break in there for us to talk about our social media junks and the new stuff we're doing. You can fast forward to that if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I always do another podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I do too when they like go through their like spiels and they're like, go to audible.com, and I'm like, I already have Audible. You know what pisses me off is like when I fast forward and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Then I have to rewind, but it's not right, so then I have to listen to part of their spiel that I don't want. And then you hear something cool, and you're like, okay, dang it. Good work.
So on that note, if you don't have Audible, if you go to Audible, you can put in the coupon code TPAS and you will get nothing. You'll have to still pay for it if you.
But don't worry, if you do that, I imagine that when we contact them and we go, oh look, somebody's already tried to use this code, because their systems will actually tell them like what code people try to use. Yeah, I actually, when I was doing my streaming thing for the games, I had told this. I don't know if you know what Rage Quit Relief is. Back then, it was like a caffeine pill that you could take, and it it was awesome. Like they sent me some to test and to send out. It was it's basically like a caffeine pill with some B vitamin stuff or whatever. I don't know what's in it, man. It was magic.
Wait, is it work immediately? Like when I get mad because I'm losing it? Because I associate Rage Quit to video games.
And that's what it was for. It was for gamers, right? The theory of being this caffeine pill never gave you the harsh drop off that caffeine did. So when caffeine drops off, you get really irritable, but this one didn't. Oh my god, dude. I hate that they went out of business because those pills were amazing. They were super awesome. But all that to say that when the people used the codes, my guy with Rage Quit was like, hey, just so you know, people have been trying to use this code, so we're gonna go ahead and give you a code, because with me, with them, I had just set up a thing where if you'll send me a bunch of your product, I'll give it out, right? And then that's when we'll start. And so I was giving them out. Well, people were going to the site and using Gaming with Gizmo to try and get. And he's like, all right, look, dude, we've had enough people put in the freaking code. We're gonna give you a discount.
Yes.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, so go put in TPAS, TPAAS, and you'll get some Rage Quit.
Just go everywhere you go, everywhere you shop, Target, Walmart. If you're shopping online, put in TPAS.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah.
We'll have a line of something there.
What is that other Christian LifeWorks? LifeWorks. You go there. Lifeway.
I'm sure there's a LifeWorks. I'm sure there's a LifeWorks.
Probably. So if you're shopping there, do it there. For all
Victoria's Secret.
Satanic needs. Oh, Victoria's Secret for sure. That will be my first sponsor if I get a choice.
I want, you know what I want? I want a set of those Angel's Wings I always see in the commercials. I don't want anything else. I just want Angel's Wings, please. So Victoria's Secret,
that's false advertising for sure. Because when I put on those bras and panties, I want wings.
I don't ever feel as sexy as
right?
The wing. That's like Red Bull. Red Bull can't say it gives you wings, but yeah, Victoria's Secret can wear wings, and they don't get sued.
That's true. Because they implied it. They didn't specifically say it. They implied it.
I see you, Victoria's Secret. All right.
Doing your thing.
Oh, we want to jump into the week.
Oh yeah, how was your week, man?
My week has been a long week.
Last
We've done a
2
lot of
weeks,
traveling.
technically.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We've done a lot of traveling. We went back to Tennessee to visit family. I had to come back to Missouri for 3 days because I had work and drill this weekend.
Stupid Army providing a life for you.
Stupid Army. Bread and butter, making my family happy. And so today I flew into Tampa, so it's actually 10 o'clock for me. And so for the first time, when we put on our social medias 9 Central Standard Time, it applies for some reason.
Well, I mean,
Like
it
for
applied
us.
before.
Because
Like,
I'm assuming we have
listeners.
all over the world.
Well, we do. Like, think about, like, Shane's listened to it before, so, like, he's technically Pacific time. So, boom.
That is true. Thank you, Shane. You're listening. I love you. I miss you.
Let me
I was actually
assist
I was
with that.
supposed to be in. I was actually. Oh gosh. And then I picture Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out. That was his opener.
314.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I'm in Tampa right now. I miss my family. I've Skyped them, but I haven't. I miss my son and my wife very much. This is the first time.
Do you?
This is the
Do
longest,
you? Because I feel like
Do
you
you?
haven't made any attempt to contact them at all.
I
At
know
all.
what you're referencing.
Yes. As soon as you said it, I was like, chunts up with that.
Chance of-
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, baby. So now I'm here for a week. And I will go home Friday to pick my family up. Yes, dude, I can't stop. That's funny. And then, so I have been doing some writing because I miss our Dungeons and Dragons campaign that we haven't done in a long time. We've all just been very busy as adults, and
Right.
and
Well, part of it, I
fathers and
blame
husbands.
Chainsaw. Partly of that. 'Cause he
Yes.
initially had to work on the nights we were doing it, and we just
Stupid
never,
army
like-
providing him a life.
I know, and we never built around that.
But what I'm doing is because I've been missing it so much, and I've been telling all my friends about the stories you came up with. I was like, dude, I just want to write it. That way, at least I get immersed in it a little bit. And so I wrote what I consider chapter 1 and put that out. So if you want
It's
to read
really
that,
interesting to see
it's
it written from your point of view, because obviously I knew what I wanted in my head and kind of knew the script I was looking for you guys to follow. So it's interesting to see how much depth, because you filled in a lot of gaps too, right? Because it's not like
yes,
it's built like this fucking novel for you guys to play with. It's very much like point A, point B, and here's some backstory and some characters. But to see how you filled out the areas, really awesome.
one thing that I miss though,
And I love the way. Hold on, I gotta railroad you. I love
That's
the
it.
way you
Okay.
go from player to narration. That you did that really seamlessly.
Well, because I remember once I've tried writing some other things, but the one thing that's hard, and you and I talked about, and I remembered ever since, is you're did you got to pick, first person or third person? It's kind of confusing. So I was like, forget it, I can't
Yeah.
do that. Narration. So that's why I did that, because it's just very hard for me. I feel like that was an excuse.
You're still doing
Not-
third person, but the way you're doing narration is third person omnipotent, where otherwise you still have third person
Mhm.
on omnipotent either way. But because you're sticking to one view, whether you notice it or not.
Yeah, well, one, I can break it down, because I didn't want to go through tons and tons of stuff, with characters talking back and forth.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we're just gonna do this.
Basically, Devan said, that character dialogue and build-in is in the way. Narration.
I needed to be impersonal.
Though I did love, you did a good job with Shane's character and the way he was interacting. That was pretty good.
I
Though
had to
I'm
change
afraid.
tiefling to a a human.
Why? Because you
Just
didn't want to
'cause-
describe a tiefling?
Yes, exactly. Well, I wanted someone to be because
That's going to cause a problem when he has sex and talks about his STDs.
Well, no, because in the campaign he's very charismatic. So I was like, well, let me just put an attractive dude into this. Even though he's short, he's still extremely charismatic. And so I was telling my wife, I was like, the problem with this is everything, and I do mean everything, people and items that we come in contact with, Shane's character would have sex with it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna put that in the story. I don't know if that'll be.
Well, you should just do it, just not so graphically. Just the players the players reference it, but there's no details. You know what I'm saying? This again, and the door shuts, and him and the character in a room, and everyone's just again,
I'm always
and
just-
everybody's head solemn.
What I'll do is just have it where they're looking at him as he goes to close the door, and when it just cracked just a hair, he winks and then shuts the door.
Yeah, exactly, perfect.
Oh gosh, so that's pretty much it for me, man. So how was your 2-week vacay?
Man, like, I don't know. There's so much in my 2 weeks lately. Like I'm jam packed with things, like from start to finish. So I'll just go over the highlight, not the highlights. That makes everything else look bad, but the one that has like the most like ridiculous stories that came from it is my buddy's getting married, and so he wanted to do a bachelor party. Well, he wanted to do a bachelor weekend, which is super cool. So we went to a place outside of Chattanooga. Well, I guess it's technically in Chattanooga, but it was like a 3-story house on a river. Oh my gosh, dude. It was so cool. But, of course, it being a bachelor weekend and my buddy being the person who he is, and there being 8 of us, we just got drunk from Thursday through Sunday. Like,
Just a constant drunkenness?
I was constantly in a state of inebriation. I think there was a solid few hours Friday night. Yeah, Friday night when I wasn't feeling so hot. Like, I'd been drinking all day and been on the water all day. And then, like, I accidentally took a nap from 8 to 10 and woke up just, like, awful. And so, like, I tried to drink some more. And I was like, no, I'm going to recover tonight. But yeah,
I like that you said accidentally took a nap. Like, you didn't have a choice.
No, it was one of those things. I went upstairs. They were making dinner, right? They were grilling. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go take off my trunks. And I took off my trunks. And I put on my pants. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to lay down on the bed for a second. And I was checking my text messages. And the next thing I knew, I woke up and it was 10:30.
So you passed out.
I did. Yeah. Well, I consider it a nap.
Air quote a nap.
Yeah. I, again, totally inebriated for the entire time. It was ridiculously awesome. Too many good stories to tell, like inside a week, and certainly infringes on some people's rights. But the one thing is, the first night we were there, I was sitting on the couch and I was being super cool, and they were watching the Preds game, and I was like there for it, but I was mostly playing Pokemon and drinking and talking.
I say cool.
Yeah, I say cool. And so then my butt started vibrating. And I was like, all right, whose phone's going off? Because there was like 4 other people on the couch with me. Nobody. I'm like, no, somebody's phone is going off. And they're like, no, you're crazy. And so finally I was like, no, put your hand on this cushion. He was like, no, the cushion's vibrating. So I got up and pulled it up. Sure enough, there's a phone, man. There's some rando phone.
Just someone?
It's a pink phone that was like totally cracked, right? Well,
was it a Razr?
It was an iPhone, and so of course it's got 1% battery left, and it was vibrating. It had no service, no SIM card, wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi, and so what was vibrating was the bedtime timer. Like it was like 8:30. It was like bedtime or whatever, and so it's got 1%. I throw it to Brian. Brian hooks it up and then starts charging it, and then proceeds to start like looking at the notifications because we can't get in it, but the notifications are on the screen. We're trying to figure out whose it is. Well, after tons of Facebook searching, like Brian goes, I wonder if it'll tell me. And you press and talk to Siri and say, who am I? It gave him the owner's name and number. Huh. And I was like, dude, call her. And he was like, no. I was like, fine, I'm calling her. So I pick up the phone and I call her. And this stranger was like, and I'm like, no. So we're at the house that you were just at, I'm guessing, recently?
Yeah.
I was like, we found your phone. Like, just so you know. I was like, I'm betting you already have another one because it says no SIM. She was like, yeah, I bought one today. Like, we just left today. And, like, because that's when we checked in. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. And I was like, well, look, if you text me your address, like, I'll totally, like, mail you your phone. Like, unless you don't need it.
You're not there.
I was like, if you do, yeah, I'll show up. Yeah, thanks for your address. I'm going to stalk you. Well,
what's your schedule like?
You're like an 8 to 5 person?
Okay, see you at 7:30.
So I was like, or I'll chuck it in the river, like whatever you want, you know. And so like,
that's your first thought.
Well, like I'll either like, well, I mean, you don't want to leave it out, like people can. Yeah. And so she was like, no, I actually need my contacts because she's a dodo and doesn't have it synced to iCloud. Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. And she goes, hey, don't break into my phone because I'm a mom, so there's no pictures. And I was like, okay, like that.
So you immediately begin to look for pictures.
Right, you immediately start trying to crack it. Yeah, no. So I ended up shipping the phone back to her, and she was nice enough to pay the shipping. But that was one of the really interesting stories. It was pretty good.
Did you put a pastor and atheist bracelet in there?
Oh, I should have put a pastor and atheist bracelet in there, but I'm not good at marketing. Clearly, it was pretty good though, man.
Well, all's well that ends well.
Mm-hmm.
Does she even know? Like, is this somebody he knew? Because it sounds like somebody he did not know. Oh wait, this is at the. Okay, I'm thinking
It was
at Matt's house.
It was at the person who just left the cabin before us.
I was confused for a moment. I
Yep.
got it.
Well, one part was still funny. I told her, yeah, just text me your address, and like it took her forever to text. And the guy's like, yeah, that's because she's getting a PO box. You creeper! Like she's not about to send her address. Like they're going out to get a PO box right now.
Send me your address. But that's how I picture you saying it, even though you weren't talking. Like
No,
that.
I was like, shit. I was like, the darkness. Send me your address.
You say "mwahaha" at the end of it. You're like, why are you saying?
Don't worry about why I need your address. That part comes later.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
All right, so what's your quote of the week?
Quote of the week is, "For rarely will someone die for a just person, though for a good person, perhaps someone might even dare to die." You like that?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
It's biblical. Boom! I didn't put Bible in there because I wanted you to say it was good.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of the Bible. It's just all the other bullshit around it. Like, I'm not even gonna try and deny that. There's like, that whole golden rule. That's actually fairly solid. It's the other bullshit that comes with it.
Well, I almost did a Zach Brown quote from one of his songs. Jesus taught the golden rule. Gandhi said it too. An eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind. Something like that. It's really good.
Yeah, I like that. Eye for an eye.
But I won't do this anyways. But I've been studying from the book of Romans, over chapter 5 with some guys, and that one stuck out to me. I'm still like trying to study it over a little bit, and like who said it, why I said it, stuff like that. But it's talking about, people like Jesus died for us. Rarely someone will die for a just person, but they're like, oh, that's a good person. They deserve this or that. Even though if they're just, they don't feel the same way. If someone's just versus good, and I thought that was just kind of intriguing to me.
I find it weird that people study the Bible that aren't pastors. Like, I know that you should. I just find it weird.
Well, let's talk about, maybe that should be a topic sometime. Like, why do you need to study the Bible if you're not?
I mean, you don't. You could study
I have
Pokemon
an
strengths and weaknesses, and I think that would be a better use of your time. But that's me,
I mean, especially if you're going to be successful at the game. If you want to be a Pokemon master, you better not.
Yeah,
and
I told
Ghost
Lisa
coming
that I
out
was
soon.
going to be a Pokemon master. She didn't take me seriously. She'll know. She'll learn one day.
She'll get it.
Voldemort will know. Her 7 souls won't matter. I'll be a Pokemon master.
Kill them all.
I'll have one Pokemon for each soul to battle. It'll be fun.
You can't. One of them's you because you can only have 6.
I know. That's what I'm saying. One of me. Like, I'll have to fist fight one of them, but that's okay.
I picture she gets to the end. She knows she has to destroy all 7, and she's like, "Wait, you only have 6 Pokemon." And you tear your chest open. You have a tattoo that says "Stab here," and now she has to make a choice. Do I love this man? Do I do it? And she does it because she wants to get rid of you.
Oh, it's awful.
Just for a second.
So where did that quote come from, other than the Bible? Like, at least the book of Romans?
It's from Romans. Yeah, it's from the book of Romans in the Bible. And yours, I don't know what it is. I liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I absolutely love this quote. So if you're not a Doctor Who fan, this is going to go over your head. But this is from the most recent season of Doctor Who. And it's the 12th Doctor who says it. And this is pulled straight out of a conversation, but one of the things he says is, "Do you think that I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference?" That one resonated with me so much, man. Let me
know if I interpreted this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I'm reading it makes it seem like, so maybe someone thinks that you don't like them, so they betray you, and so he's saying did you think that would make a difference? Like that was going to make me like you?
No. Oh, no, you're totally wrong. Okay, so let me elaborate then. So basically, to cut this whole season short, she falls in love with this dude. The guy dies, okay? And, she wants to, because the Doctor's a time traveler, she wants to go back in time to save her guy. And so she takes all these keys to the TARDIS, and she's about to throw them in the lava, right? And so, the Doctor's like, "No, don't do it." And she's tossing keys in the lava, and once he runs out of keys, he can't access it anymore, obviously. And so she's throwing keys in, and then finally she throws them all in. Ooh. And it turns out he had tricked her, it was an illusion. But he was like, "All right, cool, let's go to hell to get your guy." And she was like, "Why would you, after what I did?" And he's like, "Do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference. Like,
Gotcha.
so he's saying that I love you so much that you think betraying me would matter. Like, I still love you and I'm still gonna help you. Like, you betraying me doesn't change anything.
Dude, I love that.
Right? Oh my god! I'll find the YouTube video of that like interaction because it is like so powerful. Like, it's some of the best writing I've ever seen, especially for TV. So if you don't watch Doctor Who, you absolutely need to, especially the newer stuff, like that used to be on Netflix. I mean, it's so good, man.
And if you are a Doctor Who fan, email us, let us know. We'll send you an armband.
Absolutely. So let's do the top 5 reasons this time.
Alright, this week's top 5 is top 5 reasons it's better to be in a relationship. I was going to do in a marriage, but I found, like, it's new world, and a lot of people are already, like, just in a relationship, these will apply.
Right.
Number 5 for me. These are not in any particular order. Like, these are just, it's the 5. Number 5, housework is done in half the time. And I'm thinking about you, dishes and laundry.
You know what? They're also better when you do dishes or fold laundry with somebody. It's way better of an experience.
But if you're doing dishes and laundry both, you have a brunt of the housework, and you need to tell your significant other you see what's going on, and they need to take it.
I've wisened up to your bullshit.
I've been doing this for 10 years, and you didn't tell me this is the hardest. My wife and I have an agreement that if I will clean the toilet bowl, then she will do dishes. However, she doesn't realize that the toilet bowling is cleaned like once every 2 years or something. That's all it needs. But I do dishes most of the time anyways.
No, I don't think that's. I don't think that's how that works, Devin.
But you only clean it when it's completely black, right?
I think you should clean it more than every 2 years. Once a month, it's a good start towards a better house.
If you have a permanent ring around your toilet bowl, you are not cleaning it. You're not cleaning it often enough.
Dakota runs in, is like, wait a minute, hold on, he is only cleaning it every day. The only reason this one's clean is we just moved here.
I know, like, wait, we just moved here, there's already a ring. Forgot to flush when I peed, and now it's just there.
For days.
Number 4, you both feel most at home in your, quote, fat pants on the couch watching Netflix and eating pizza, which will be funny when you get to yours. Number 3, double dipping isn't only allowed, it's encouraged. And I'm thinking about salsa when we go to Mexico.
Oh my gosh, salsa.
Don't you hate when you go out with other people and you're not sitting with your other person?
Yeah.
And you're used to double dipping, and now you didn't get enough on your first chip because you forgot you were with other people, and now you have to eat the whole chip.
Well, what's worse, what I end up doing is overcompensating, and so I'm spilling salsa everywhere because I'm getting it all on one chip. I'm getting mine, you know.
Dude, your chip to salsa ratio is completely off when you're with other people.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's messed up.
Hashtag first world problems. Number 2.
Hashtag salsa ratio.
Hashtag that's gonna be on there. Number 2. There's no shame in taking a dump and letting everyone know. And by everyone, I mean your significant other.
It's like run in the room and shout, I have to take a dump!
I'm so open about my dumps a lot of times. I think last week or a couple weeks ago, you're like, what are you doing? I was like, taking a dump.
No,
son of a...
That is not how that went down. What happened is I called you and I needed to talk to you for just a minute, and you're like, this is perfect, I'll be efficient. I'm going to go take a dump while you talk to me. And I was like, please don't. And you're like, no, it's happening. I was like,
nope,
okay.
too late.
Okay. I guess we'll get through this together.
And this is probably my favorite one. I think this will resonate for anybody in a relationship. Number 1, no awkward first dates and having to be someone that you think the other person might actually like.
Yeah, that one's nice. I also would say that if you're doing the latter part of that sentence, if you're being someone you think the other person might like, you're already fucking up and you're going to find somebody terrible. You should always be you and find somebody who likes you for you.
Yep, and I would say, do you like your relationships to end eventually?
Then pretend to be someone you're not, yep.
I'm Wolverine from X-Men, believe it. Alright, what's your top 5?
I like those.
This might be my favorite one, actually, your first one.
So, well, because I cheat the system, because you know, in Google Drive, you have to overcorrect when you do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it does that weird break. So I cheat the system, and I just mentally knew that I would reverse these.
Okay.
So number 5, Netflix and chill is Netflix and chill.
Take that, young whippersnappers.
It is not like a reason to like go get laid. Like if I'm turning on Netflix, we're watching a movie, okay? Like
It's
I don't
Goosebumps.
need
It just came
Netflix. Yeah, I don't need Netflix on to have sex with them, okay? Like in fact, I prefer it to not be. All right. I don't need somebody watching like How to Hack Your Life in the background while I'm having sex with them, okay?
IT crowd hanging on.
No, there's a documentary I want to watch called How to Hack Your Life. I just saw it on Netflix. It's supposed to be really good.
That's funny.
Number 4, having a brunch partner, because brunch fucking rocks. Number 3, you don't have to do laundry alone anymore. And that's the best, man. Like, honestly, like, folding laundry and just chit-chatting with somebody is, like, bee's knees, dude. It is bee's knees. Number 2 is cooking at home is more fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no problem cooking at home on my own, but when you have a partner and they're like cooking with you and laughing and dancing with you, oh my gosh, that's the
You do that every time
best.
you cook?
What? We cook together?
Dance?
Oh yeah, we absolutely dance all the time.
I
We
need
listen to
proof.
music while we cook. I will Snapchat it next time we do it because I don't know if we'll.
I like that you put this one. So my wife's been gone a week, and she's usually the one who cooks. And so cooking is definitely more fun when she does it, as opposed to me making peanut butter and jellies for like 3 meals a day. I think
Dude, all right, look. Let me solve your problem, okay? Go to the grocery store like a Publix or a Kroger, okay? That has like a deli counter.
Okay.
Get your favorite cheese, and get like chicken breast or whatever, like sliced for sandwich meat, and then go either get flatbread or ciabatta, okay? And you get all, and so basically, ciabatta and flatbread are best because you can microwave them and it doesn't require any real work. And what you do is put meat, cheese, and ciabatta or flatbread and nuke that, and you have like a solid sandwich that took you less than 5 minutes. And that's what I plan to eat for lunch all week.
That's golden. There you go, single gentlemen. You're welcome. No more ramen noodles for you.
PB&Js are amazing, but they do get old because you can't like do a lot of variety with them. Though I did eat a PB&J flatbread, and it was really good. It was like disgustingly good.
I'm gonna try that soon.
Dude, you should. Like, I get flatbread at Publix. I discovered it there. I was shown flatbread at Publix, rather.
Shown the way.
I was shown the way. And my number 1 is you no longer have to drive all the time. Don't get me wrong, I love driving. I prefer to drive actually because like I think that's a sign of respect and like. It's like to be nice to somebody is like to offer to drive them around and stuff. Like it's just a sweet thing. But like knowing I don't have to drive, like if for whatever reason I was like, I can't, not today. Like I could be like, please,
please, you have to. We're together now.
This is part of the contract you signed and initialed. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
No matter how much I tell my wife, like, hey, can you drive halfway? I always end up driving the whole way.
Yeah.
Not because she doesn't want to, just because I'm like, just so used to it, I forget I even asked her.
Yeah. Well, in that theory, like, if you're driving, you get to choose the music and podcast, right? Like, hello from the Magic Tavern the whole time, baby. And we're doing it.
Let me tell you a funny story.
Okay.
So, my wife is like, yeah, you can listen to it, because I'm going to, like, you're driving, you can listen to your stuff. And so I have on the Magic Tavern. And I don't know if you've gotten to the Christmas episode.
I haven't listened to it in a while because I've been listening to 4-hour.
Well, they do the play on words for everything, and so it's called Chris Must, and basically what it is, there's this guy that everyone in Foon hates, and so every year Chris must do whatever they say, and so there's a song that they sing, and I was listening out loud to this, like it was in through like Bluetooth in the car. And everything was fine, like 10 minutes in, and then Usador says that Chris must like lick both of his buttholes, and I was like, well, not gonna listen to this anymore. My wife, she just shoots me a look. And I was like,
nice.
Yeah, this podcast gets a little weird sometimes.
Yeah, that reminds me. I have to play this, and hopefully the Hello from the Magic Tavern people don't give a shit. Hold on, I'm gonna queue up the Music of Foon portion.
Oh, by the way, this is Hello from the Magic Tavern. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so go get that. If you're a nerd, go get that. You'll love it. It's so funny. You got that ready?
Alright, hold on. Here we go. This is an amazing song from that thing. Is that good volume or is that too loud?
A little loud.
Okay.
Usador, Wizard of the the 12th realm of Ephesius, master of light and shadow and devourer of chaos, Usador, champion of the great halls of Doratus. The elves cry Fee Yalik, and throughout the northeast he is known as Gaswanius Maystar. Usador.
This is my favorite part of the whole thing.
I just want you to know I found a reason for me to change who I used to be. A reason to save all the food. And the reason is you.
His voice is so amazing.
And the reason is food.
Oh man, that's so good.
I'm gonna write a post to them and tell them we just use that and see if they like it.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm telling you, man. Like, oh man, that is so like that podcast is so well produced. Like, I listen to ours and go, yeah, we're all right, and then I listen to theirs and go, all right, who the fuck are they paying? Like, if you look at the credits, they got like 8 people, and oh, they have 3 producers and an editor and theme music. Hold on now, wait, we need on this boat.
Yeah.
They've got like an army of producers, and we have me, and I'm not even a professional in any way, shape, or form. This is great to lead us into the break portion of the show.
All right. This break brought to you by Hello from the Magic Tavern. Not really.
They're not a sponsor.
They're not a sponsor.
If you tell them that we said that, we'll lie. We'll tell them that you're liars. That's what we'll say.
They'll believe us because we're podcast brethren.
Well, he's a pastor.
Hey, if you want to go and talk, I'm a pastor. You have to believe me. You have to believe me. If you want to talk about the new stuff we got going on, I don't know how much you want to go into detail, but take it away, my friend. So we got a couple things
going on. One of them is that I'm working with a graphic designer to get our logo redone. Not that I don't love the Living by Faith, the Pastor and Atheist Show, Dying Without It thing. Like, I like that tagline. I just don't... The way Devan, like, initially built that, because I tasked him with that, he built it in an app, which locks us into the app's fonts, and it did not give me an original source file to edit, upload, and move around. So we're going to go ahead and get it redesigned. Plus, I think we both kind of want something more, like, logo-ish, where this is more just like a title frame. Once we get that complete, you might have seen last week or the week before where Devan, like, I shared something with Devan, and I didn't specifically say, hey, don't share that with the public yet because it's not done. Devan went,
I'm gonna share
hey, everybody go buy it! Like, and so you can buy it, that's great, but 2 things you should know. 1, that particular site is in the UK, and B, the design is going to change, which is why I haven't bought one yet. So that's pretty big. Like, I already actually opened my own store with some like logos and stuff, which I'm not going to share that here, but you know, if you go to my social media, I am sharing it there. I haven't, but I will be. It'll be of the same vein. Once we get the logo finished, we have like phone cases, t-shirts, like a little bit of everything, jewelry if you want it. It'll be pretty cool. The other thing we're doing is, if you notice other podcasts do Patreons, we're going to be doing a Patreon as well. We just got to get a couple of videos together to put up on the Patreon, then we'll launch it. And basically what that does, it allows you to, if you want to support us, you can support us. Mainly because, like, technically we go negative every month in this podcast. Not that we don't love doing this, but if you guys love listening to it, if you support us just a little bit, like $1 a month, a couple dollars a month, whatever, like the cost of a coffee, like, you know, if enough of you guys do this, it adds up and it keeps us from going in the red, which is super awesome since we have families. So,
appeal to their
appeal to all the audiences. So yeah. That's what I have, I think, as far as like general news. I'm always constantly trying to find ways to revamp the site or other things like that, but the 2 big things is the logo, the swag, and the Patreon.
Awesome. How can they find you, DeWayne? Where can they find you
You can find me on every platform, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat with Your IT Hero. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
And you can find me also on Instagram I do not have I do have Snapchat, but I ain't using that as a medium. So Instagram and I guess pretty much Facebook, where I'm kind of trying to stay in the realm of the actual Facebook page we have for the Pastor and Atheist, but I still find myself putting things on my own page, which is fine. So my friends can see it if they are paying attention and they're not friends of the page just yet. So I am Thunder Arms 66. Crap, I don't even know my own dang name on there. Hold on.
Your Facebook one?
Thunder Arms. That's on Instagram. Just Thunder Arms with a Z. And then on Twitter, I don't ever use Twitter, man. I don't have enough friends. No one cares about me on there. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, everything I post to Instagram, I post to Twitter as well, and I'm Thunder Arms 6 on there.
Nice.
Sorry, Thunder Arms 7. I'm such an idiot. I told you I don't use it as much. Thunder Arms.
I know. That's why
7.
I said nice, because I was like, that's incorrect.
So, if you didn't hear any of that, you can go on our website. All the correct information is there at thepastoranatheistshow.com.
Because I do it.
thepastoranatheistshow.com. If you want to email us, if you have a topic, we're gonna use it. I'll just tell you that.
No, we most likely will use it. If you send in a topic about the difference between aliens and robots and the mix of religion,
we're definitely
probably gonna use that one. But I don't want to say we're definitely gonna use it, because you never know what people will send in. Like, I would immediately send in something like related to donkey porn and religion. So you should definitely not use it. Yeah, definitely gonna use it. Yeah. The other thing that you have going on for the break is
armbands. The way to get an armband, and we've been sending some of these out. It's starting to get spread around. I've had people ask me about mine, which is good. Like, hey, and I'm not gonna say I don't strategically place my arm and my wrist so that other people can see it.
But mine's on my right hand, so when I shake hands,
yes.
Boom.
Hey, what's that? But the way to get an armband is to, one, send us an email about something. And if you want an armband, say, hey, I'd like an armband, put your address in there. If that's weird, get a P.O. box. I mean, I'm not going to come to your house and attack you. I'm just going to send you an armband.
Well, if you specifically say you're an atheist in the Gmail, you may or may not get an in-person visit from him trying to convert you.
Let's go with the main. You might just get an impromptu email.
Why are we in debt? There's a lot of flights that have to happen. These people need to be converted.
There's a lot of atheists in the world, and they live, like one from L.A. and then New York, and they keep jumping back and forth like that. So, yeah, so that's one way. The second way is it's the Patreon would be another way. Also, if you subscribe to us, if you subscribed, let us know you subscribed. I'll see it, but then you have to send us your address. Always have to send us your address, and eventually we hope to get a form or something when you grab our email up.
When you subscribe to Patreon, just so you know, when you subscribe to Patreon, you will you'll hit, if you subscribe to like the second level or whatever, it'll ask for your address, and then we'll have it. We'll be able to send you an armband.
Whoop. So yeah, basically, even if you probably just sent me your address in an email, I would send you an armband.
Yeah, along with a sternly written letter or an encouraging letter based on your religious affiliation.
Or a picture of me smiling or a picture of me scowling at you.
Yeah, that's true. Or no, crying. Crying is the other one, I think. Just like bawling. Bawling for your soul. Like, he's not angry with you, just upset and sad.
Hashtag bawling for your soul.
Yeah, so many good hashtags. So, our topic this week, assuming you're done.
I'm finished.
All right, cool. Our topic this week is religion and politics. The reason I like this, I wanted to talk about this topic, is because, I think it's important, because in America, at the least, if you're not in America, then I apologize, this is not for you, but in America, it's very much like separation of church and state. Like, that's like our yeah, that's what we say, and that's what we tend to believe, but that could not be more wrong. That could not be more false, despite, like, what I would hope. But if you think about, like, all the politicians we have that are religious, like, in their personal lives, there's no way that doesn't bleed over. And so I had a couple points I wanted to go over. The first one being, this is mainly, like, to reflect how they vote, because politicians are nothing more than voting instruments for us, and we vote them into office, and they're supposed to vote on how we feel. So if we like the way they tend to vote or have historically voted, that's how we should vote for them to encourage that action. and there's two hot button topics that always come up with, and I don't want to discuss the two topics at length as much as I do the voting on those topics.
Okay.
One of those being the first and foremost, like when abortion, like just straight up abortion, like it's a very, very black and white topic for most religious people. And so if you have a Catholic or Christian religious politician, they're automatically going to default to voting against abortion. I even have this politicalresponsibility.com/voter guide. It's basically like a voter's guide for serious Catholics. And like your role as a Catholic voter, basically on this site there's like these 5 non-negotiables that like you have to vote against. The first one being abortion. Like the church teaches that regarding a law permitting abortion, it's never licit to obey it or take part in the propaganda. So like basically right off the bat, this like little guide, and now this is a random website, but I think it's fairly true for Catholics, like immediately you cannot vote for abortion.
Or
and
for
like,
a candidate, you're saying for a candidate who, like, you can like everything about the candidate except that they are for abortion. So it's saying if you vote for this person,
it's saying like if you're a politician,
if
you have the
you're
power to vote, yeah, it's saying if you have the power to vote, then you should vote against abortion, like just from the gate.
Okay.
So, and I think that's like fucked up to like, and which not in the sense that voting against abortion's fucked up, your own choice, right? But to allow your religious beliefs to tell you how to vote. That puts that weird gray line on like separation of church and state, which is why I think it's impossible to have separation of church and state, because you have people that fucking believe. So like and they tend to vote based on their own beliefs. Like,
well, isn't that what everyone's doing? Is voting based on a set of beliefs? Like, are you voting based on a set of beliefs that you have about just the world in general, the way you view things morally, and
Absolutely, but like there's not something that in the like fuck our core values of a country that says like separation of DeWayne and his beliefs. There's literally something that says separation of church and state.
But what do you think's meant? Because to me, when someone says separation of church and state, I think that to me it means like, hey, government can't come in and regulate religion, and also religion shouldn't be able to. It should, and that's why it's moved from schools, is because they say it shouldn't pour over into.
But it does. It absolutely
education. Does. Not anymore. Have you seen that much stuff? Do you
think it would have taken same-sex marriage to pass as long as it did if it wasn't for religious people?
Well, I think it's definitely an influence.
And it's a primary. It's a huge influence. Look at it. You can Google this and tell me how many atheist politicians there are.
Probably not a lot, because there's a lot of
very
Christians.
little. There's actually some areas that you can't even run as an atheist. Like if you check that box, they'll deny you.
I was reading also this week, because I was talking to a few people, and when I think about abortion, I'm thinking, yeah, Christians, the view, and it all goes back to the view on when does life begin, and there's I think 7 or 8 or 10 or something different views on when people say life begins. But I'm thinking, well, and someone put it, life begins when an egg is fertilized, because it's either fertilized or it isn't, because the stipulations around a fertilized egg are it's got the necessary chromosomes to be a living organism. It just needs time. But there's some atheists out there who are super against abortion, and I guess I didn't know that.
You have to assume atheists, because we don't have a book telling us this way or that way. So that's up to your own personal beliefs, and that's why I say it doesn't bother me when atheists vote on their own belief, because there's nobody there's no institution telling them how to vote. They have parents, they have family members, they have their own life, right? People in their life that persuade in their own life experiences. But there isn't a book of rules that say, if you have the power to vote, this is how you should vote. Which is exactly what the Bible becomes. When you become a politician, there are certain things you can't vote in the favor of, because that would be denying your own beliefs. If you were because, not to get into this, but I know you're like technically against same-sex marriage. Like, you obviously you're not against love, but like if you had to vote against it, you probably would have, based on your own beliefs, right?
Yes.
Right, and a lot of that comes from the Bible. So therefore, like, just very simplifying the matter, and like, I know anybody who's emailing or whatever, I know that I'm simplifying the matter. But he, based on the Bible, he would vote against it. So
yeah, but that's just one of those. But that's just another outside source. Like, he would be like your mom or dad or uncle. It's just one of my other influences as I've been growing up that says, hey, this way or that way, and so it's
no, those are two different things, though. Those are two different things. Your uncle and your aunt are not an institution. It's just your uncle and your aunt. They're very isolated. The Bible, Christians,
I call
religion
religion
as a whole.
institution. I wouldn't call the Bible itself an institution.
Yeah, well,
This is what this podcast is for.
I kind of think it is. I kind of think the Bible is an institution in itself, because you have so many different religions that roll up on the Bible and go, okay, here's what this means to me. So it may not be an institution in the traditional sense of the word, but it's certainly a catalyst for a lot of institutions that make a lot of like sweeping and generic things and go, whoop, this is what it is, and like, boom, done, end of story. Like, there is no wiggle room whatsoever.
Well, I know some Christians right now who they're very what would I use? They're like super like pro women, you know, that this is the whole thing, and so
Bible's not like that at all.
But these people they're so pro women that they are, well, and I guess they would say like we're pro love too, you know, but a lot of the things they say contradict things that are like in the Bible, and it would lead me to be like, well, are you for those people, or I mean, are you trying to like follow the Bible? So that people like that who are stepping over a line a little bit to support people, to love people so much that they're neglecting like biblical truths. Like, no, like, yeah, love people, but if someone says, hey, is this right or wrong, then you need to say, well, based on I think, but like, here's what I read when I read this Bible, and if I believe as a Christian this Bible, I have eternal life after this, then yeah, it should influence you. It should. And if you say, well, no, it's just it's a Bible, whatever, and it's not influencing your life, then as a Christian, I would say maybe you need to reflect on that a little bit more, like reevaluate your life.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's what I'm saying. Like all that to say, you just further said like they should follow the Bible, which therefore just rolls back around and saying like those politicians aren't making their own choice. Like, sure, they have the illusion of a choice, but they're technically supposed to do what the Bible says. So therefore, anytime you vote in a religious politician, you're really just voting in another tally for the Bible.
You know, and I think you bring up a good point though. When I was young, I had like, you know when you're a kid, you're like, I want to be a firefighter, a cop, or for some reason I thought I wanted to be president. You know, I was like, I like the idea of being president. I thought I was going to be in politics when I was in like 8th grade.
Thank God that changed.
Everybody, you have to have Flintstone vitamins on Mondays and push pops on Thursdays. Okay?
I expect you all to have your first 4 badges by the end of my first year, okay? Alright? And the newest version, okay? No old school bullshit. The newest version. Go out and buy it. Like Nintendo would sell you stock because they know. Like, you're going to get shit going.
Yeah, and I'm like, every October we're doing Project Beast Mode to the month of October.
The entire month.
We're going to be
No, that doesn't work because then there's Halloween, and that's like typically a get trashed holiday. So
well, it's only 15 days. We'll do it the 1st to the 15th.
That's smart. I like it. That gets them prepared for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, then you can destroy your body, and we'll do it again next October. So I wanted to be the president. So I thought, and I'm talking to this guy was my mentor, and he's passed away since. But he was like, "Look, man, if you're a Christian and you're like a true Christian." He's like, you're never gonna be president because there's certain beliefs you have to have that just aren't gonna match up with what people believe nowadays. And I was like, dude, you're crazy. Like, no, that's not true. But it is so true, because the Christians who say the politicians who claim Christianity today are people like Trump who say that to swing votes.
Right.
Like, hey, I went to church once, so hey, Christian voters, vote for me, because the Christian voters are a large. I don't know the numbers, but I'm guessing it's a pretty large percentage of people who vote are Christians. And I think it'd be interesting to see, not based on beliefs, but people who claim they were Christians and vote, and people who claim or let's say this: religious and vote, because we have a lot of religions. Religious and vote versus non-religious and vote. I wonder what that is.
It's. I mean, you know, it's the majority. Like for sure. Like atheism is such a minority. Like, and then I say it's a minority. It's probably getting better. It's certainly better in the overseas in Europe than it is here. But even if we weren't, like, even if we were half and half, you think about how many people actually vote. Atheists, you know, other than the angry ones, like I'm very laissez-faire. Like I still vote. Like I just vote in the bullshit elections, like the presidential one, and not like the important ones in between. But yeah. I don't know, man. Like it. Like so, the other four for these non-negotiables, is euthanasia. They can't vote in favor of euthanasia. So, like assisted suicide, they can't vote for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't vote for that. Stem cell research, can't vote for that because embryos are human beings. Human cloning, can't do that. Can't do that.
That's just a form of embryonic. I don't know why that's technically putting it twice. That's what stem cells.
Well, no, human cloning is totally different than embryonic stem cell research.
Not really.
Yeah, totally differently, because you can still get embryos that weren't cloned, and you can do research on that.
They just pull that because they're so organic. They haven't formed the RNA yet, and so that's why they can do what they want with it. But that's like the richest source to pull from.
Yeah, but that stem cell research is totally different, because you can use stem cell research for a lot of things, like regrowth and like a lot of things.
That's cloning. Like you clone a, I had to do
no.
Past.
No.
Yes.
Stem cell research is not the same as cloning. They don't like clone you a new fucking organ. They put in stem cells because stem cells like will fucking morph into other things. That's not cloning.
It's a form of cloning, because you're taking something that didn't exist and you're reimplanting these stem cells that don't have RNA. You're implanting the correct RNA from someone into it so that it turns into hair cells or.
But that's not cloning, dude. Like, cloning implies that you're making a copy of a human being, not that you're giving a human the tools to make replications of its own DNA. You're not making a copy. You're not taking one person and totally copying it, like, or making a person from nothing.
They're very similar.
I can see where you think they're similar, but what you're saying is like when a lizard cuts off his tail, when he regrows that tail, he's cloning his tail. When he's not, he's regrowing
I see what you're saying.
it.
You're saying you're thinking of like Mewtwo, cloned from Mew. It is not the same creature. It's in a whole different. Well, see, and that's one thing they were trying. Like when they made Dolly, I think it was like '97 when they made Dolly, like clone the first sheep.
The sheep, yeah.
Oh, and then they have the whole argument of what do you call them? The kids that people have just so you can use them for body parts. Like if you have a kid who's got disease and stuff, it's like, well, is that cloning? And the kid is no, it's not. That's not. Don't talk about that. They're very similar.
I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree, because I agree that I should disagree with you all day. The other one is homosexual marriage. Like that's those five. Like just.
I think the first and the last are pretty standard.
Yeah, well, I would say the 1, 2, and 5 are solid for Christians. Like you don't want people killing themselves. That's a big no-no. And technically,
two's an interesting one to me. The mercy killing is what they have it. They tagged in here.
Yeah, but I don't think that's. You're not supposed to kill anybody, Devin. Period. The end.
Well, the Bible says murder.
All right, hold on. Let me define murder here. Oh God, my Google search history.
And then
the unlawful, premeditated killing of one human being by another. And it currently is unlawful to kill somebody.
So yes, it'd be murder.
Which means the Bible adheres to man's laws, bitch. Oh.
Well, also, it's funny you say that, because we're talking about in Romans how it talks about, like there's the law that God has, but that, there was the law in the old days that Moses had put out. Like, I gave you a law so to make it easier to follow. So, yeah, there's still laws of the land you have to obey.
I'm just telling you, man.
Currently, people like saying, well, he wanted to die. It's like, yeah, well, that wasn't your responsibility. Like, let him take that into himself.
So the other link I have, number 2 on this second link about the 10 Democratic senators who still say no when it comes to gay marriage rights. Senator Joe Manchin continues to back DOMA in addition to opposing same-sex marriage. Senator Manchin, oh God, he's probably like doing some dude in the toiletries. Senator Manchin believes that a marriage is a union between one man and one woman.
Amen.
He says one specifically because, like, fuck Mormons. His beliefs are guided by his faith, and he supports the Defense of the Marriage Act. Like if he's so open to saying that, like, that ruins separation of church and state. Like, it just does.
I don't know. I don't think so, because of
course you don't think so.
Well, his faith is a set of beliefs that he has, like, whether it's a book or not. Like, you could write it, like, yours is based on what you would say is science, and so you say it's what you can see and do. And so yours is based on books, too, because there's books about whatever.
Yeah, but these books are backed by fucking fact, okay?
Well, I would say, okay, so there's the Bible that we have, which can be refuted, probably not by me very well, as being historically correct. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that points to it being very, if not 100%, very accurate, which is a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
And people are basing their like, shouldn't they have love? That's off an emotional appeal, and not based on anything really else. Which I agree. Like, yeah, people do deserve love. But then I default to Christians, like, but at what expense? You know, as far as
their souls.
Yes, and that's what I mean. That's what there's a guy who he's married now, but he used to be gay, and he tells, you know, that's one of the things he preaches. I used to be gay. He still even has like some of the feministic traits, and he says, you know, this is how I am. And for years I struggled with, you know, is this okay or not? Because he was in church, and there were people who loved him in this church. And he said he just never felt like he belonged because he would call himself gay at the time. But he said he learned, you know, and this is the point where you break. It's like he learned to believe that God loved him despite how he felt, and that he decided that life was worth living alone and being accepted by God and what God expected versus having someone and eventually ending up in hell because of the lifestyle.
I'm sorry, man. I have a hard time taking people seriously, and unfortunately you included, when you guys believe in something that literally says if you touch somebody that has the same genetic parts as you, you're going to go to hell. Because we just don't like that here. Like, well,
that's putting it very blandly. And then that goes into the whole living a lifestyle versus we're sinners and everyone makes mistakes, but the whole
isn't
focus
it like, all right,
are you living? Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I think that was really it.
To me, simple is best. Okay, so if you take an idea and you simplify it down fairly quickly, and you go, whoa, that's making it, you know, that's blanding it up a little bit. Well, it kind of is, man. Like,
well, when you say touching someone who has the same parts as you, I would say, well, yes, biblically that's considered unnatural relationships. That's what that is, because the Bible talks about how men left their wives for other men, and women also left men for other women. And it talks about there's other forms of sexual morality, but people always point to homosexuality, and that's not the only form.
No, it's not.
That's the most controversial, right?
The difference for me is I only use homosexuality because that's the one you resonate most with, and that's the one you hear most. It's the biggest hot button ones. But as far as like pansexuality, bisexuality,
dude, pansexuality, that one kills me. I feel like too far, guys, too far.
Well, no, well, hold on. Do you know what pansexuality is?
It means like no sex. Like there's no such thing as like
no. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Try again.
Yeah, there's no male or female. It's just you are.
Well, that's the way you describe that super vague. Pansexuality is basically like how some people don't see race, they don't see gender. They look at somebody based on their personality. Like they don't care what gender you are.
Well, I'm glad doctors don't do that. All right, sir, you know you have a penis, but it's time for a pap smear. We're going to shove something in that hole of yours.
Well, I'm also glad doctors don't do that, too. But, I mean, I'm also glad a lot of people see gender. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't actually give a shit what you want to fucking love. Like, I don't care about that. If you choose to fucking love another person, that's great. I don't care what their system is.
What if it's a goat?
I don't care. Like, it doesn't affect me. Like, it really doesn't affect me if some dude is like...
I wish you were a goat. In the South.
I don't like where you went with that, because I feel very unsafe if I was a goat around you now, based on this.
No, I didn't say from me, man. I'm just saying, like, because you're like, I'm okay with it. All right, let's get Bubba Joe over here.
The only problem I have with that, honestly, is that I'm not sure the goat can technically consent to that.
Man, hey, so I thought of something funny when you said pansexual. Immediately my mind went to Dungeons and Dragons, and everyone is just a fawn or something. You're half goat, half man. You're pansexual.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of, man, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, you think religion and politics are separate. I don't agree with that.
I think that it plays a giant role in who you are as an individual, just like anyone else's upbringing. It's an influence that you draw from.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know where else we're going to get with that. I really wanted to get on a soapbox and just say, like, it's bullshit. And they're definitely not separate.
And if anyone has maybe some more insight about that, because I'm not a political dude, you will not have a good debate with me. I will just be like, all right, good for you, you know things. I'm voting for Trump, and that's that, because I'm just not voting for Hillary, and I'm American, so I'm going to vote.
Oh, man, really? I gotta ask. Between those two, you're really going with Trump? Really?
And my answer is yes. I've heard someone say it this way. Oh, and I have a really cool story at the end of this.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with this at all.
Okay.
I heard and I think I've said this on the podcast before, somebody said Trump's either going to do some really good things or some really terrible things. But if you pick Hillary, you're going to get what you've gotten. Would you rather take a chance and get something better, or just stay where you are? And I'm like, that's a decent point.
That is a decent
especially
point,
for someone who's like ignorant.
I would rather bide my time, like, honestly, than deal with the volatile state that Trump could put us in.
But I'm thinking, like, who could I heard today, and I sent you a text about who his vice president might be, and they say, like, look, he's weak in foreign policy, but he gets a good vice president in. He doesn't have to be good at that. And he's going to have a team of people for everything he does. He's going to be commander-in-chief, but don't you think he's not going to be able to pull a trigger on down stuff that he wants, like just whenever he wants, like unless he passes a law like Obama did where he can override anything.
Well, see, here's my thing. Like, the public perception of America is already god-awful. If we elect him, it only gets worse.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm glad you don't. I'm glad you have faith in this, buddy. Because you
if
live by that faith. I'll die here without it.
You'll die without it. There, that is.
So what was your story? What was your story?
Oh, so the song 16 Candles, you've ever heard it?
Probably. Google it.
You could Google it, but it's an old song, right? But on my ride from Atlanta to Tampa, you have to just pick a random seat on Southwest because that's how they do things. You just sit wherever you want. And I just happened to sit next to the guy who wrote and sang that song in, like, I don't know, years before our parents were born. But that's cool. And he still sings today. He goes out. He was in Vietnam. He owns a restaurant, like a show, like where they do food and show here. There's a name for that. What am I missing? I'm losing my words right now.
I don't know. Dinner and a show.
Dinner theater. You'll know it in a second.
Yeah, I've never heard this.
You've never heard it?
No. I don't do a lot in the 50s.
Wait. When he gets to 16 Candles, it's in a lot of movies.
Alright, hold on. It's probably in the movie 16 Candles, which I've never seen.
I haven't either, but I've heard it's racist or something.
I'm sure it is. It was back done in the 80s. Yeah, I don't like this. This feels very pedo-y. Okay, I'm done with this. I apologize to every listener, every set of ears that I was just offended by.
If we've got
pedo music,
we just gained a new clientele of people with that.
Pedophiles?
Geriatrics. Maybe
geriatrics. Maybe both. Sometimes they cross.
Maybe a
Sometimes that
geriatric
histogram. Sometimes they're in the middle of that histogram. That's a school reference. Good job. Win. Birchwater.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh man.
So I sat next to that guy. So that was cool. But anyway,
That's cool.
That's all I got.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it, man. We'll wrap it up and call it a day.
Okay, then. You got any closing remarks?
That's a pretty sweet earth. It's round.
My closing remarks. I love you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.